What if you could use...
Hello, hello. Hello, everybody. How are we on this very cold Thursday evening? I had to think what day it was then. Who knows? Because, you know, when it's Christmas, you don't know what day it is, do you? We all got together on Monday night for a team meeting and we were like, we need to do something and get everybody in again because we haven't done anything since before the school holidays. So we thought we'd act quick and do something tonight. And we were talking about themes, and a few people in the group, and one of them's presenting tonight, so she can tell you a little bit about it, but do big Christmas in July things. So we thought, why not? Let's do something a bit fun. So we've got 4 of us presenting tonight, cooking in the TM6. You will see on one of the benches the sparkling black Thermomix, which I'm guessing will kind of steal the show a little bit tonight, but the rest of us will try and hold our own and look good too. I do have one of those. Mine's still in the box, so I'm going to do a bit of an unboxing in the next couple of days. But I do have my classic white here and we'll be cooking something amazing. So for those of you who have already got a TM6, I imagine you're here to learn some more. We have most people on here tonight actually got TM6, which is very exciting. For those of you on a TM5 or a TM31, the language of the Thermomix is the same. So it actually makes that upgrade transition really easy. The time, temperature, speed language is the same. So it's really exciting because the TM6 has got a lot of modes and extra things that the other models don't have. And you are, again, going to see some of those tonight. So we're really excited to show those to you. And it's almost like, you know, Thermomix, not almost like, Thermomix are listening. So people go, like one of the biggest things is high heat, which you're going to see tonight. So being able to caramelize onions and brown meat and do all those sorts of things are really exciting features that the TM6 have that other models don't have. So when you are using Cookie Dough and you've got previous models, you'll see that there are some recipes that are TM6 only, and that's because they use some of those things. So they use slow cooker, they use egg boiler mode, or they use sous vide, or, you know, any of those sorts of things, or they use that high heat. And the high heat can be for sort of, as I said, meats and onions and things, but then other vegetables and meats, but also for sugar work. So, you know, in theme with our Christmas idea, you know, making toffees and honeycombs and caramels and things like that's pretty amazing. So let me tell you a little bit about Thermomix, but then we're going to get on with the cooking because we've got lots to cook and some of them need a slightly longer cook time. So the price of the Thermomix is $2,579, and up until the 10th of August, with that Thermomix, you will also receive a glider board. Now I'm going to spin my camera around because I have my machine sitting on a glider board tonight. Now, a lot of people talk about glider boards and getting them from other companies, and prior to recently there was no other choice, but a lot of those aren't covered under warranty if it slips off the bench because they're not, the whole board slides. Now what you'll see with this is that I can't move that like that. So if I'm kneading or mashing potatoes or doing something like that, it's steady on the bench still. So if I want to move it, I lift it up and then I can drag it around. So this has been specifically been designed by Vorwerk for the TM6. So if you are using some sort of slide or tile or glider board, this is the one that we recommend. So it's $149. So did that go up? I think it's about one. It's free with your purchase. Plus, you also get a $140 voucher for our mix shop when you purchase your TM6 black or white up until the 10th of August. The other thing is that a lot of people at the moment are choosing to come on board and earn their Thermomix. So if that's something you'd like to know a little bit more about, please reach out to either myself, or you'll have my email from the confirmation, or the consultant who invited you this evening. All righty, without further ado, I am going to send you over to Mandy's house because Mandy is making a delicious, actually I'm going to let her tell you what she's making. Hi Mandy.
Hello, how are you? Well, you can easily see what I'm making, well, more or less, except it is caramelized red onion chutney, but I ran out of space. So that's what I'm making, a really cool Christmas dish, and I had to show you my apron because I think that's pretty cool and pretty true, by the way, too. Lucky there's no men on here. I am the one that we have Christmas in July. So I come from the UK originally, and so, you know, for me, I've been here longer, lived here longer than I have in the UK, but you know, Christmas is still the wrong time of year. So we always do a Christmas in July. We have 22 people coming next Saturday night, but we're not doing all of it. We, you know, everyone brings something. So it's all good fun, and got to love a bit of Christmas, I reckon. So let's get on with this because it does take a bit of time. So I'm going to add 25 grams of olive oil. And 500 grams of red onion cut in wedges. Now, we're going to be using the high heat in this, and it is really important that it's in wedges, all right? So if it's chopped too small, or if you put it in and was chop it first, it would not actually let you use the high heat. So we've got 500 grams of red onion in wedges, which is actually quite a full bowl, half full. Then this is what Michelle was talking about before with the high heat. So we use the splash guard for the high heat. That just sits on top there. And because of the little lugs at the side, it gets locked in place. Then all I'm going to do is turn this. It will go up to 160 degrees. It's going to caramelize those onions, and I will see you in 20 minutes. I think we're going back to Michelle.
You are. You were speedy. You were speedy. I was trying to do things in the background with my daughter.
Sorry.
Steal some of the food that I've prepared to make for you guys. Okay, so the dish that I'm making is actually an inside-out Parmigiana, it's called. Now, the reason I'm making that in itself is probably not that Christmassy, but it was kind of a stretch from, because we were talking about turkey roulade with stuffings. So at this time of year, I'm probably could have ordered turkey, but you know, I figured chicken was easier, and also what are my family going to eat? So I figured this was a really easy thing for them to eat tomorrow night. So it means dinner, what I make tonight is dinner tomorrow night. So that's pretty exciting. So this dish is also has, and put in the chat if you've made it before as well, because I know a couple of people have made this, and I know this is originally a Danny Valent recipe. So those who've been around for a long time may have seen her make it. The other reason we wanted to make this is because it is something that looks a little bit fancy, but actually, and sometimes when you read a recipe like this, it looks a bit complicated, but it's actually quite simple. So seeing somebody do it makes you go, oh, yeah, that's not so hard. I can do that. So, you know, and most of us, I'm a bit like that. I'll look at something, you know, read it and go, oh, I'm not sure. And then one of the other girls will do, oh, so easy. So here we go. Flipping the camera around to the recipe. Now, I had started, in fact, I'm going to go back to the start. So just quickly before I do that, so I said before, because I wanted to get over to Mandy so she'd get her onions on, but I was saying before, time, temperature, speed. So that's how easy it is, as far as, you know, that language of knowing, you know, where you're going and transitioning from a TM31 or TM5 to a TM6. Now, you'll notice this amazingly large screen. I used to call it obnoxiously large, but as my eyes have got worse, I love it. So if you need to activate the reverse button, I'm just going to get you in nice and close here. Just tap on the blaze there, and there's your reverse. Whichever one's large is the one you're operating with the dial. So pretty simple. But the thing that's quite cool about this is that it has got multiple screens. So if you swipe to the left there, you access all of these modes on the right. So these are the sorts of things that when we do a demo for you, in-home demo, we can go through these in more detail. But just to give you a little bit of an idea, I mentioned before things like egg boiler mode or peeler mode, or the blending mode, warm-up mode, thicken mode. In fact, I used thicken mode tonight to make bechamel sauce for a pasta bake. So there's all these amazing modes. And then there's just a little eye in the corner, eye for information, which tells you then how to use that mode. So it's very intuitive and very user-friendly. Then if I go in the other direction here, it takes me into Cookie Do. So for those of you who may not have heard of Cookie Do, it's our global recipe platform. So like our Netflix for recipes. And through here, I can type in something that I'm looking for, or I can just scroll through for inspiration. The cool thing about Cookie Do is you can personalize your page. So, you know, if you're a vegetarian, you can call yourself the veggie cook, or if you're a chefy cook, you can call yourself the chefy cook. Or if you're just busy and you want the time-saving recipes, you can flag yourself as the time saver cook. And then based on that, recipes will be recommended to you through Cookie Do as well. So just looking through here, you can be scrolling through, looking for recipes, looking at different blogs, different themes. So there's lots of things on here. Now, if you haven't got Cookie Do, or you want to sort of see a little bit what it's about, you can actually do a 30-day free trial. So just jump on and click try it for free, and you can go in and have a look. So even if you don't have a team 6, any model Thermomix, you can use Cookie Do. And obviously if you're using it with the Team 31, you're cooking manually still, but you've got access to all those recipes that have been triple tested by Vorthek. Anyway, there you go. So on with my recipe. So also within Cookie Do, you can have things in a weekly planner. So this recipe is in my week, and there it is. And what I did was I started it a little bit earlier, just so this was at temperature. So I've started to make the sauce, and that sauce actually steams the potatoes as well. And I just remembered I haven't got my other jug out of the dishwasher here. Beauty of being a consultant, multiple jugs. So let me just grab that out. It is clean and ready to go. So just guys.
Just on Cookie Do as well, we do have a limited time host reward with Cookie Do, 12 months subscription to Cookie Do when a guest purchases at your demo. So have a think about who you know who needs help in the kitchen, and talk to your consultant.
Good plug, good segue there. This has not been pre-recorded. That's why I couldn't pause and then get it out. Okay, so here we go. So what we are doing is yep, got that. That's no drama. Alrighty, so I'm making the stuffing. So it's an inside-out Parmigiana. So instead of it being breadcrumbs on the outside, it's like a stuffing for the inside. So here I've got the ingredients I need for that. So it's 80 grams of day-old sourdough bread, some lemon zest, and it said pitted green olives. I only had black, and we like black. So, you know, I think one of the things that I love about Cookie Do and guided recipes is that the guided recipes are exactly that. You're in control. So if there's an ingredient that you either don't have or don't like, just substitute it or leave it out. So now this is the beauty of guided cooking. It's preset for 6 seconds, and it's asking me to go to speed 7. So here we go. Ooh, it's a lovely colour with the black olives too. Who likes olives? Put in the chat. I find it really funny because I'm half Italian, so I've grown up eating olives, but I find that if people aren't introduced to olives when they're young, then it can be quite an acquired taste, can't it? So it can be a bit of a love-hate thing. Righty, so there's mine. I can't really see that at the start. So go. Here's my stuffing. Probably should have taken the crust off the bread. When it says day-old bread, do you use the crust, girls?
I usually do.
Yeah, I did, but this was very hard crust. So there's a few pieces of crust in here still, but I'm thinking that that won't matter because steaming that will make it go all nice and soft. Beautiful. All righty. So now the next step I've already done, which is to make the sauce that's going to steam it, because it's supposed to steam potatoes and then they go in the oven. So I'm not doing that now. What I'm doing is skipping straight to making the inside out. A bit. So here, I'm going to put my camera down. Here's one that I've already kind of beaten up a bit. And here's one that I haven't. So I just got some chicken breasts at the butcher. And then I actually asked him to run it through his tenderizer, which he did, and it just made it a little bit easier. But you're just really giving it a bit of a, you know, beating to flatten it out. So that's all I did. And I'll have to say this, it did come apart a little bit, but don't worry about that because we're just sort of going to roll it together anyway. So it asks for silver beet. Now, I don't have silver beet, so I've got spinach. I do lots of substituting. Who else does lots of substituting? Let's see if I can actually, sure this is going to, okay, you'll just have to look at that and not me for the minute. I think that might be better. So the recipe says it's for some prosciutto. So that was what my daughter was stealing as she walked past before. Luckily, I had extra pieces. Some spinach. Well, it says silver beet, but I'm just going to do a bit of spinach. That might be a little bit too much, but that's all right. Some stuffing. And now, again, substituting. It said mozzarella. I had a little bit of tasty cheese, which was actually a pizza cheese. Confessions of a Thermix Consultant, pre-bought. And I also had a little bit of feta. So I'm just going to... So again, you know, a lot of poetic license here, but there's no rules with this sort of stuff. So use what you've got. Substitute for things that you like. And life will be grand. There we go. That's pretty much it. Now, what it's done here, and the recipe told me to do this, was have a piece of foil with a piece of baking paper. So this will help me roll this together. So I'm just going to roll it over there, put that in. I may have overfilled it, like when my daughter makes a taco. And it goes everywhere. Oh, no, I reckon they're good. They're beautiful. Perfect. Put that in there. There we go. That's it. And then we get the foil. A few little bits have fallen out. I'll eat those when you guys aren't looking. And just make it nice and tight. Okay, so that's it. So you actually do 2 or 3 of those. I'll just do the one for tonight and I'll do the others off camera, but for you to see that. So does that look fairly simple? Beautiful. All righty, so jumping ahead here, it asked me to do the sauce. Now I've got the sauce here and I'm actually going to transfer that sauce into this bowl because it's got the flavors from that, from the olives and things. And this was onion and tomato and chicken stock, which of course I used. In fact, I've just about run out my chicken stock paste that I've made in the Thermix. Pop in the chat if you've made that before. So I'm going to skip through the recipe here. Now, did you know that when you are in a recipe, you can go into the next step? But if you go into the recipe detail, you can scroll down and I can see where I'm up to, which is all the way down here now. There we go. So I'm up to, technically up to this step. So add some salt and pepper. I did that before. And there we go. Add the chicken into the granola. So popping the lid back on. Bring this up here and popping this guy in here. All righty. So now that's just a bit of a set and forget now because that's going to just cook for 20 minutes. So while that's doing that, we're going to go and see some other fun things. We're going to head over to the lovely Julie If anyone's got any questions about that recipe, please let me know. But I can we'll pop the link in the chat as well. That may have already been done knowing these amazing girls. But we'll head over to Julie, who's going to do some yummy treats for us. Hi, Jules. You're on mute, hun.
It helps to take myself off mute, doesn't it?
There we go. Hello.
Hello. Well, I'm very excited to, like make gingerbread. And as I was like kind of trying to pre-bake a batch, I was like, I found my mittens. And conveniently, it's a gingerbread mitten. So anyway, I thought it was quite cute. So I'm going to show you just how easy it is to make gingerbread. So if you haven't made it, you'll want to try. And also, it's actually a really great recipe to, do with your little ones if you like. Great to get them involved, and they absolutely love it. I'm pretty sure they normally get more Smarties in their mouth than on the actual gingerbread, but, it's still lots of fun. So I'm going to bring you a little bit closer to my screen. Hopefully you can see that okay. All right. Just give me 1 sec. All right. Okay, sorry. My kids are very noisy, so I just quickly mute myself to tell them to be quiet. Now, I've already cooked a batch, so I'm just going to skip here where it asks me to line 2 baking trays. Now, I've actually pre-weighed everything, and this is actually my, I use this actually for, it's got a silicone lid. It's actually the, from Thermomix. It's an ice cream, it's for ice cream, but I actually love it sometimes when I want to kind of prepare myself the night before. So the first step is 380 grams of plain flour. Second step is 1.5 tablespoons of ground ginger. Next one is 1 teaspoon of mixed spice. Instead of mixed spice, I normally like to just add cinnamon. I find it's probably a little bit, it's not as strong, and the kids seem to really love the smell of cinnamon. So like Michelle was saying, you can substitute recipe, ingredients or anything. Next, a teaspoon of bicarbonated soda, 100 grams of brown sugar. I've actually reduced my sugar because I feel like you really don't need to, I find that by the time you add the chocolate, you really don't need that much sugar. And the next step is 150 grams of golden syrup. So I've got my little squeezy bottle, but you can make your own. I normally just refill this one. So if you haven't made your own golden syrup, try it. It is really, really easy. I just find it's convenient just to refill in here. That's also. So just squeeze that. I don't feel like I need 150 grams as well, so I might do. Hopefully try and do that. I reckon 120 is enough. Okay. So again,
the question asking how much sugar did you use?
Oh, okay. So instead of 100 grams, I used about 60 grams. So
Thank you.
Probably, yeah. I really think it's sweet enough, so you don't really need to. It's got golden syrup and brown sugar, so you can add a lot less than that. All right. 150 grams of butter. Okay, so that's what I love about it. It's got a recipe. You don't have to follow it to a T unless you're doing the high heat. So then you need to kind of follow it to a T. But I always try to follow like a recipe first, and then after that, I kind of tweak it to suit my own taste buds. 1 egg yolk, so throw that in there. So as you can see, so far very easy, isn't it? I've just basically thrown everything in. Okay. So now it's just asking me to pop my measuring cup and lid. And for 12 seconds, it's just going to blend everything together. So over here. Next, I just want to show you that's 12 seconds. Done a pretty good job, I think, for 12 seconds. I definitely can't do that with my hand. I didn't have to melt anything. I just basically just popped everything in there. Okay, so I've just scraped the sides down. And then now, just actually going to ask me to pop the lid back on, and it's going to knead it for 50 minutes, okay? Now, just like Michelle was saying before, when you need, if you like, there's a,
You mean 50 seconds?
yeah. Ah, do you want me to go back to you?
No. You said 50 minutes.
50 minutes.
50 seconds even.
I mean, maybe if you were hand, you know.
Hand meaning would take 50 minutes, but you're going to do it in 50 seconds.
I'm going to do it 50 seconds, you know.
Love it.
I'll show you my special power. But the great thing is there is a preview button. If you click on preview, it allows you to kind of, you know, look at things that you can do ahead of time. So I like to use my silicone mat, which is great. You can actually get this as a host reward. And I'll show you a little trick. Let's bring this back. I wasn't sure if you could hear me before that kneading. But this is a little trick I love to do is like whenever I store my silicone mat, I find like it always sticks together or sometimes it's hard to dry. So I actually just normally roll mine into a tea towel. It's great. It's easy to store. You just roll it up like so. And then much easier. That looks a bit messy now, but you know, I guarantee it's a lot normally neater. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop it here. Oops. I love these mats. They're really, really handy. Okay, so I'll pop that, oops, down like so. I'll just add a bit of flour here, like so. And okay, that's my dough. Okay, so at the start, it may feel like it's a little bit crumbly. It will depend on how hard your butter is. Okay, so if your butter's a little bit softer, you will find that it tends to combine a little bit quicker. But otherwise, I'm just going to turn this upside down. Okay, if you can't get it out, just give this little knob a light twist. Okay. I mean, you don't have to only make gingerbread during Christmas period. You can make it anytime, I think. So, get that, combine it a little bit, mix it together. So, oops, I think I made it a little bit messy, but okay. So you just got to combine it all together into a ball. I think it's pretty close to a to a ball, I think. And then basically all I'm going to do is it'll ask me to place the dough into like a bowl or cover it into plastic wrap. I'm not going to because we don't need to waste plastic wrap. And I'll do that. And basically I'll pop it straight into the fridge, and it'll just ask me to pop it in the fridge for about an hour. Just that it's a little bit more firm, so it's easier to roll later. But I have made a batch, so I don't know if you want to stay with me or go to someone else, Michelle.
We'll just check in where Mandy's at if she needs to do the next step of her recipe.
I do,
There we
please.
go. Let's pop to Mandy for a minute, but then we will come back to you.
Yep.
There you are.
Oh, thank you very much. All right, so that's done its high heat for 20 minutes. And steam up my glasses, but the onions smell amazing and look amazing. So next I'm going to add 200 grams of light brown sugar. Now I'm with Julie, I always cut down on sugar, but I don't cut down on it in chutney because I'm not quite sure what the result of that would be. I don't know if Irene's on tonight, she'd probably tell me if she was. But so yeah, cut it down on your cakes and things, but I think chutney needs the whole works. I've got 200 grams of brown sugar. I've got 200 grams of red wine vinegar. I have a chili that I've sliced up finely. And just a little bit of salt. Okay. Now it's asking me to put the varoma in position. Now I am going to actually use the barometer to sterilize the jar I'm going to put it into. So I will use that. But otherwise, there is no reason why you couldn't just use the simmering basket. Okay, but do the same thing. But this is my confession. I've got, anybody know what jar this is? If you know what it is, put it in the chat. But that's a Thermomix consultant not making something in the Thermomix confession. All right, but I'll let you guess. Anyway, this is going into the barometer, and I'm just going to put it on the top. And so it will sterilize at the same time as, so we're going on barometer temp for 25 minutes. So why not sterilize the jar at the same time? So it's reverse speed 0.5, and we'll come back in 25 minutes, and whoever put PB in there is quite correct.
Thanks, Mandy. I can't tell you the technical reason why you'd have to use the sugar, but I have made that recipe multiple times and just followed it to the letter, and it is delicious. So definitely not one to just have at Christmas. Have it in the fridge all year round. All righty, back to Julie for some gingerbread magic.
So I've made that one as well, and I must admit that one I kept the sugar because like you were saying, I'm not sure whether it changes, you know, the texture and the way it cooks and everything. So some we can replace and some we need to stick with the recipe sometimes. But what I've just done while Mandy was doing her thing was I actually grated some chocolate, and I'm actually just melting it. And if you've never actually tempered chocolate or, you know, made any melted chocolate in your Thermomix, it is really, really easy. And my kids are really excited about me not decorating the gingerbread tonight, but about the fact that they know I don't like to, you know, make it clean too much, so they get hot chocolate tonight. So they actually been waiting very patiently to say, Mum, don't wash the bowl, add some milk, and, you know, I'll give them some hot chocolate later. But I'm just going to have a quick look here. I think that chocolate's actually melted pretty quick, but it's really nice and easy to decorate. I actually got these a long time ago. Okay, there's 100 piping bags. Majority of the time I do like to use the reusable cloth ones, but this is just a little bit easier because I find sometimes chocolate's a little bit hard to wash off. So I just pop this into like a yogurt jar, like so. Just got my other batch of dough just nearly lost my camera. All right, I'm just going to show you. So you have a look at that. Look at that. You get beautiful chocolate when you're using Thermomix. So all I did for that was set the temp for 2 minutes on 60 degrees and just speed 2. Okay, so I better not put it all in, otherwise they're going to say that I didn't put any chocolate for them. Okay. So, I mean, we've got lots of, look at this. So basically, this is my spatula with my scraper. I've got my scraper here, but what I do like to do is sometimes as you're squeezing, if you find your chocolate, you know, when your kids are squeezing, sometimes the chocolate gets a bit messy. I love to just use this, just scrape it so it gets to the end. Okay, so I'm going to show you. Cut the tip first. I'm definitely no expert at making gingerbread, which is, I think that's why I get the kids to decorate, so then I can say, you know, if anything goes wrong, I'll blame the kids. So I'm just going to pop that there. And basically, all you do is, let's see, I'll move that there. Pop 2 eyes, a little smiley face, like so. And then I normally do a few of them first. Apologize in advance if you can hear my kids talking. I can't mute them, unfortunately. So just pop that there. And I'll show you the little cutters that I use, but basically that's all I do. I've actually been told as well, I don't know if you've ever noticed, but so these are my little gingerbread cutters, okay? If you actually turn them upside down, you can actually get a reindeer instead. So I used to go, where do people buy their reindeer cutters? But it's apparently just a gingerbread turned upside down. Okay, so if anyone didn't know that, there you go.
Very cool, Dolly. Very cool.
So that's my kids are going to be really excited to have some hot chocolate. But I thought I'll let the dough sit for a little bit, and then if you like, I can show everyone how I roll it out and cut it. But otherwise, yeah, nice and easy.
Perfect. Well, we'll go over to Diana, and we will maybe come back to you just for a little bit of rolling technique. Diana's waiting patiently in the background with her, with the amazing sparkling black ready to go. Hi, gorgeous Diana.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to my kitchen. And has anyone seen the sparkling black yet? I'll just should try and turn the camera a little bit just so you can appreciate it. And I'll lift it up because it does look different. Check that out in the different light. It is absolutely gorgeous. I don't know why I'm not using this one because I'm used to using having one on this side. So this evening, I am actually making a really quick recipe, smoked salmon mousse. So this is a wonderful, quick last-minute dip that you can make. You can pop it on little toasts if you like. It also makes really nice sandwich filling for bread rolls or bagels. And I just thought it was something a little bit fancy to show you, yet quick and easy. And that's what we love in this Thermomix world. So you'll find this recipe in Cookie Do, and I'm just going to press start cooking here. So we start off, and there's only a few ingredients too. So a quarter of a red onion, and then 4 sprigs of fresh dill. So I've just got that all off. And then we'll pop the lid on. So it's one of those really quick recipes that if you go and make a cuppa, it's already going to be done and finished. That's going to chop up. Okay, so did I skip one? No. Okay, so I'll just show you how quick and easy that all got chopped up. Beautiful, because no one loves onion fingers. And now we're going to add some cream cheese. So I'm just using the normal Philadelphia packet, and you can actually use a low-fat cheese too for this recipe, I think. I haven't tried a low-fat one, but you can use that. I haven't broken it up, so we'll see how that goes. Press next, and we need 120 grams of just normal thickened cream. Now, the good thing about this, this mousse is, like I said, that you can serve it as a dip, but it keeps well for up to a week in the fridge. So if you're serving this as a dip and then you've got some left over, you can actually pop it in your kids' school lunches the next day or your own lunch. So the next step is 20 grams of fresh lemon juice. So as you can imagine, this is going to be really fresh and beautiful, perfect with a glass of champagne. A teaspoon of Tabasco sauce, and you can leave this out if you want, but I'm just going to put in a little bit there. We all like a bit of a kick around here. There we go. I'll pop that lid on. And just 20 seconds on speed 4. I'll just tidy up here a little bit. And I love being able to clean up as I go along with these Thermomix recipes. Beautiful. So we're going to scrape down the sides of the bowl now. So I'll just show you how cool is that. I didn't even break up that cream cheese, and the Thermomix did a wonderful job of that. Now, I'm a massive baker and I absolutely love the Thermix, especially for things like making cream cheese frosting. I used to use my KitchenAid, but I just find the Thermix does a much better job. You don't have to worry about the butter and the cream cheese being at the right temperature or sifting your icing sugar. You just bung it all in, whip it up, and it's perfect every time. Okay, so now we've got pickled capers. And if you don't like capers, obviously you can leave them out. And with the dill, if you didn't have dill and you wanted to use chives, I would actually think dill and chives would have been a great combination, but I didn't have any. So you can really pop in whatever you like. And now we need 250 grams of smoked salmon. So if you've only got a 200-gram packet, that should be fine. I've got actually a larger packet because I thought it might be nice to pop these on little crostini, and then if you've got a tiny little slither of smoked salmon on top, that just makes it look even more special. Okay. A little bit more there. There we go. That'll be enough. Press next, pop that lid on. And so now we're going to use the turbo mode. So it's going to go blitz it really quickly. And we want to do that 3 times. There we go. And we'll just check that. And if we find that we need to do it again, we can always go back a step and pop it through for another couple of seconds. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh, and it smells beautiful. I'll just show you. I will pop it into a bowl. I don't think you're going to appreciate it, but it's got the most gorgeous little blush pink color. I don't think you can really see with the cameras. But how quick is that? A few seconds and I've got a gorgeous dip or topping for some crostini. So this is a fantastic recipe. Save it into one of your collections for entertaining, because when you've got friends popping over at the last minute, you could whip something up like this. And these are ingredients that keep quite well in the fridge and take no time to make. And everyone thinks you're just absolutely amazing, which is what I love.
That looks amazing. I haven't made that. That's one of the things I love about the team, is that we all do different things and learn from each other.
And I've got this recipe from another consultant. So this is what I love about being a Thermix consultant, is that you just become that expert user and you learn about more recipes and you actually get to maximize your Thermomix and make the most of it. We're not just sticking to the same old things like breadcrumbs, porridge, risotto. We just take it to the next level.
Yeah, absolutely. And what are you going to do with your salmon mousse, Diana?
Well, I've got a plate here. So while we're cooking next, I'll plate it up. But I've got some little crostinis there. So I thought I might do those. And I've asked my eldest loves smoked salmon. So I've said, you've got to stay up because you've got to eat this. And then he's going to have this for lunch tomorrow, which is fantastic because I'll be able to make the sandwich tonight and pop it in the fridge and it'll be fine. And I won't be surprised if he has this for breakfast as well. So, the other thing I should mention is that this is gluten-free for anyone watching, and it's also keto friendly as well, low carb. So you could have this with vegetable sticks as well. I think it'd be really nice on radishes because of the cream cheese and the smoked salmon. So, or even cucumber, be beautiful.
Yeah, very nice. Yummo. Well, from your very healthy treat, we're going to pop back to Julie quickly so she can show us how she rolls out her gingerbread. Who wants to see that? Give me a me in the chat. Where is she? There she is. No, that's the wrong one. I was trying to do the wrong one, Jules. Here we go. Gotcha. Hi.
Hello. All right. So I hope the dough should be okay because I feel like the butter was quite firm, but so I'm gonna pop this here. I'm actually already heating up the milk for the kids to have hot chocolate, so I'm pretty sure they'll steal one of my gingerbreads later, but that's okay. While we're doing that, I just set it at 60 degrees. So I've got a bit of spoiled kids because they have perfect temp, hot chocolate. They love their, grated Lindt chocolate. Apparently cocoa black is the best chocolate as well. So then I heat up some milk, normally about 60 degrees, and then once I finish off, I normally finish it off on about, say, I think it's normal at like about maybe speed 8 for about 10 seconds, and you get pretty much perfect hot chocolate for them. So I'm just gonna probably roll. I don't think I'm gonna roll the whole thing. So but I normally like to get like a piece of baking paper, or if you had another silicone mat, you definitely can do that as well. If it's a bit sticky, like during summer, you can pop a little bit of flour here, like so. So otherwise, you just get a rolling pin. I normally flatten out my hand a little bit first because I use less strength. I don't have to use as much strength rolling. So the less work, the better. So I normally just keep rolling it like so. And then you basically roll it so it's about 1/2 centimetre thick. Okay, it's up to you. If you like it a little bit thicker, you definitely can do a little bit thicker. I find this is normally a good thickness for it to be slightly crunchy on the bottom and soft on the inside. So if you're a little bit of a gingerbread snob, my kids are, they're quite picky with how their gingerbread is. So, so I'm just going to roll that out a bit more, like so. And there you go. So you can see this dough is actually really nice now. Okay, so I've got my cutters. You don't have to use gingerbread cutters. Like, sometimes I just use whatever I've got as well. But because we're going with the Christmas thing, I'm just going to do gingerbread, like so. Just pop it like so. Kind of do a little bit of wiggle. And normally when you do a wiggle, I'll just show you. Obviously tonight's not going to come off. It's going to stick to the bottom, but let's have a look. There we go. Oh,
Perfect, Jules.
there you go. Okay, and see, that's probably about the thickness of it. Okay. And then you basically just keep going around. So I normally try and, try and measure it up so that it's quite nice and close. A little bit, when you normally give it a wiggle, it kind of wiggles it away from the other dough. It makes it a bit easier. Sometimes I find it actually sticks to my cookie cutter, which is perfect because then, it's easier to get off. And I just basically keep doing that. And then say, for example, once you get to the point where you can't really do any more, you just roll the dough up again. Okay, so I've got that. I'll pop it on a baking tray. So normally I just pop on baking tray. You bake it for at 180 degrees for like 8 to 10 minutes. And you've got gingerbread. So if you ever find, say, for example, you're like, oh, you know what, can't roll anymore, just grab it together, give it a quick knead like so, and then keep doing it like that. So that's how easy it is to actually, make to actually make the gingerbread.
You know what I love about that too?
Yeah.
Pay like $4 each for one of those biscuits.
You do.
And some places do even charge more than that. I just ludicrous. Oh, look, hot chocolate ready to go.
I got a profit, and I'm pretty sure they're going to have a gingerbread with that, though.
Yeah, if I was there, I would.
And then there was one year that I'm not quite sure what I was thinking, but I decided to make one for each of the kids as a Christmas present, like a gingerbread for their classmates. So, these are actually quite perfect. I ended up making, and then they wanted to make some for their friends' siblings, and I think I made about 100 gingerbread. So I don't think I'm ever going to do that again.
$400 worth of biscuits you gave out.
I know, but I made it for a fraction of the price. So you've got these like little, bags. So perfect. They seal well, and I just put a little sticker sometimes at the back just so, in case anyone's got any, allergies, so they know what's in it. Or you can get these little bags as well. So makes it a little Christmassy, great to give as gifts. But yeah.
Love it. Thanks for sharing all that. That's such great inspiration. And as you said, you don't need to wait for Christmas to have gingerbread. Just do them in a circle and have them all year round.
Exactly. Yeah. The kids I can hear the kids already coming over. And I'm pretty sure they're ready to have a gingerbread and their hot chocolate before they go to sleep. So
Julie,
thank you so much, Julie.
yeah.
I was going to say, hello. I actually made gingerbread biscuits for Easter one year and made little bunnies with a little
cute, yeah.
smiley for the eye. And I did the same. I did it for both my kids, both their classes. And I think that was the first and last year. And I thought that's enough.
Did you have it scattered all on the dining table? Like it felt like a production. I did it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the kids are ready for the hot chocolate.
Beautiful. Thanks so much, Jules.
Very
Thank you
cute.
so much.
Bye,
Thank you.
Too early for me. I've still got 5 minutes to go.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll come to me then.
Yeah.
There you go. Sorry about that. Putting you in the spotlight there. Because mine has actually beeped. So, hi, that was really good timing from me. So, spinning my camera around. So it says to remove the varoma. So we do that away from ourselves, unless you want to give yourself a nice hot facial there, but just do it that way for the minute. And what we've got in here is the sauce from before. So the sauce was the chicken stock and the passata and some onion and garlic, and it just blends it for 30 seconds. So I'm just going to give that a little blend. It actually, it's just on speed 4, to be honest. There's not really anything too lumpy in there. So it's just going to smooth it right out. So, and you know, the other thing with that sauce, you could add other things into that. So if you wanted to have other veggies in there, if you were doing this for whether it be for something festive or just for a fancy midweek meal, if you wanted to put some other vegetables in the sauce, capsicums or carrots or zucchini or anything like that, you could do that as well, just to kind of cut it out again. Hide in those veggies. So that's where that blending would come into effect. Pop in the chat if you do need to hide veggies. I know I meet a lot of mums who do. I'm one of the lucky ones. I could spin my camera around right now and show you that my daughter is digging her hand into the open bag of spinach behind me. So, you know, I've got widows in my house. But anyway, for those who need to hide veggies, you turn a mix, I'll do it for you. So now I don't need to show you that. I'm just going to tell you what it says. So it says for me to unroll the chicken. So here we go. Moment of truth. Transferring from here to here. Be careful because that will be hot. And obviously with something like this, it's always important to check that your chicken is cooked through, because you can always put it back on. Now with this, it does actually say to check the, oh wow, this is very cool. Hot. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Look at that. Lovely. Alrighty, so to check that it's cooked through, and if you need to add some more liquid, you can actually add some more liquid to it as well. So the way that we serve this is inside our chicken parmigiana. Do you know what I love about end bits that are really messy? They're the quality control bits that mum eats when no one's looking. Here we go. So there we go. No, you can't have some. Everyone's listening. You will be able to have some in a minute. I think my daughter's got hollow legs. They always love it when I do these classes because they're like, oh, goody, second dinner. Okay, so we should have grabbed a nicer plate, but they're actually all in the dishwasher. I just want to show you what that looks like. Can you see that? It's so pretty.
I think one of the great things about this dish is you can actually prepare it all in advance, you know, and then steam it when you need it. So if you've got people coming for dinner, it's really impressive.
Here we go. I've never made it before, just as an FYI. I've seen it made. And then with the sauce, we're just going to sort of spoon a bit over the top. I'm going to just, you know, get a bit of a laugh here. I've got this little ladle, and everyone always tells me how much they love my little ladle. When my girls were little, they had an IKEA kitchen set, and this was part of the utensils in the IKEA kitchen set. So when that, you know, they sort of grew out of that, the camera, I went, oh, I love those little ladles. So I'm just going to sort of drizzle that over. I think in the picture they had the sauce underneath, but I don't know. What do you reckon? You sort of play with the styling there. Probably need a parsley or something over the top, but that's how gourmet does that look actually?
Looks amazing. I wish I looked a bit closer, I'd be there.
I'm only 5 minutes away.
Pop over to Diana's for the entree, then pop over to me and have the main, and then we'll pop over to Julie's for some dessert. And Mandy,
I've got the gift
on as well. Oh, look at that!
Oh, amazing.
Oh my goodness!
Isn't that awesome?
I think we need to get us all on the screen now. Is yours ready now, Mandy?
30 seconds.
Oh, goody. Julie, are you in a position to be back on with your videos?
Yeah, I am.
Here we go. Add spotlight. And Mandy. Don't you love technology? Don't we look fancy?
We do.
Red.
These
All right,
smell so good.
Got
Oh,
it.
wow.
Oh, look at that. And can I actually say, Julie, that idea of using chocolate to put the bits on, I'm so not a baker, and that had never occurred to me. So making the icing was always a bit of a blocker for me.
Yes. Yeah, I've never really done the icing because I feel like it's a little fiddly. So I've always just gone with melted chocolate. I think it's
clever.
easier. Yeah. And if you don't want to use Smarties, you can just dip some, 100,000 as well. So,
Yeah, it's just or you could just put chocolate all over it, really.
There definitely won't be any complaints if I did that.
No, so I see Mandy's using her jam funnel there to pop the chutney in the bowl. Now the chutney actually, but it won't be. I think it says to sit in the fridge for a couple of hours or a day or something.
Yeah.
But if you have a TM6, make that chutney. It is so nice. And when I first made it, I gave Mum a jar and she said, oh, your dad doesn't like chutney. And he loved it. And we worked out a lot of chutneys have sultanas and fruit in them. And so if you don't like that, then, you don't like chutneys. But this is just onions. And so have it with
Chili.
and the chili. So, so it's got a nice kick, but it's just lovely. You can have it with steak, you can have it with ham, like on a ploughman's when it is a warmer weather and you're having that sort of cheese and ham and chutney. So I definitely recommend making that one. And
just a reminder that when you're putting it, if you've got anything hot to go into a jar, heat your jar up too before you pour the hot thing in. Yeah.
Did you do that in your Varoma just now?
Yeah. I sterilized it in the Varoma on the top there. I've actually got a little bit more to go, so I have to do another one, and then just popped it in the oven for a couple of minutes just to dry out.
Right off. Manny, is it possible to hold it up? I'm going to try and get a photo of all of us. Excuse everyone, you could just indulge us for a minute while I screenshot us. I can't hold mine and screenshot at the same time. Thank you so much for cooking tonight, girls. Please take photos of those amazing things. Diana, I seriously want to pop over to your house and eat that right now.
It's so good.
I'm just wondering how many Diana's going to eat.
I know, by the time I get there, they'll be gone.
Yeah.
You can tell us tomorrow.
Yep. After I've been to the gym. Yep.
Well, that's why we go to the gym, right? So we can
right.
all these amazing creations.
I live to eat.
I'm not sure if there's any unanswered questions in the chat after all that, because we've just been, having our own little private party here. But thank you so much to everybody who's joined us this evening. We've really enjoyed presenting tonight. And I think, before I started tonight, I actually wasn't feeling very well. I was feeling a bit headachy, and we're all a bit, life's just got crazy again going back to school. But once we start this, I just love it. I'm excited. I love watching these girls. Even after 10 years with Thermomix, I learn something new every single time. And I see there's people on here tonight that I've known. One of the ladies I trained with 10 years ago came on tonight, and I learned so much from her all those years ago. So I just, that's exciting and we love it. So if you want to be part of this craziness, let us know, because we'd love to have you. If you'd like to buy a TM6, reach out to the person who invited you tonight, and they will create an order link for you straight away, so we can get that on your bench and you can be making all these amazing dishes too. Or if you want to see the TM6 or the black, sparkling black, reach out because we'd love to show it to you as well. So we are looking at doing an open house in a couple of weeks. This
Fifth.
August at 3 p.m.
There you go, 5th of August, 3 p.m. So if you'd like to see that, that's at our head office in Glen Iris. So come along, touch it, feel it, play with it. It's so pretty. The camera doesn't do it justice. So
And our face-to-face cooking class.
oh yes, and that's on the 3rd of August. In fact, I'll send everybody in my recap of tonight. I will send you the link if you'd like to come along to that. That's at the Hyatt Bowling Club on the 3rd of August. So we've got lots of things happening in the next few weeks. So yeah, we've got, you know, something to get us through the winter, a bit of togetherness and food and fun. Oh, thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thanks
everyone.
for cooking.
Thanks for coming.
Always appreciate you guys. Mwah. Good night.
Good night.